I'm Sari.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio. Welcome back to Seamwork Radio, where we share practical ideas for building a creative process so you can sew with intention and joy. Today, we've got a special sewing roundup episode for you, where we talk about the things we're making, what we're excited about, what new things we're trying, and we answer some listener questions. So we're going to start with a listener question. This is the first thing we've got today. What do you do with clothing you've made but no longer wear? I have such a hard time getting rid of things that I've made. All right, what about you?
Okay, I've talked about this before, and I'm seeing the fault in my ways. I have no problem just getting rid of things that I've made. I'll give them to someone I know or donate them. But in the past year, I've been thinking about certain things I've made that I got rid of that I feel a little regret around. And so something that we're doing here in the office, I just did a massive closet clean out because, as you can imagine, we make samples every single month. We have a truly enormous closet at the office, closets, multiple. And what I did was I created a closet archive. And this is a place where we're keeping things that I made a criteria of what fits the archive. So it's things that have like special fabrics, special details that none of our other patterns have, or things that are just like really special that we just love. And it was so nice to create this like criteria for an archive and a place to save these special things, even if we don't reach for them at photo shoots or for videos often. And I thought this is such a great idea that I could start doing for myself, because someday, what if my daughters are like, Mom, what about all these cool clothes that you made? And then I'm going to be like, sorry, I just got rid of everything. Nothing for you, children. I'm like, I need to have like a little archive for them, because I had a mom. This is why I am the way I am. I had a mom who got rid of everything. And I remember being in high school and being like, I want to wear your cool stuff from like the 80s and 70s. And she didn't have anything. So I'm seeing the error in my ways, and I present to you the closet archive as a solution.
That reminds me of my mom had this dress that she wore in the 60s when she was in high school that was like this yellow little cotton mini dress that my grandmother had made for her. So it was smocked, like an elastic smocked top, and then it was just like this really cute little mini dress. But when I was a kid, I wore it as like a non-mini dress. It's like a regular dress because it must have been very short on her. I still remember that dress. Like I still have it in my mind because it had so much belonged to my mom, and my grandmother made it, and I think about it all the time. So I think there's so much sentimental value attached to the clothing that we make. It's really special in that way. So yeah, I have a hard time with that too, because I also have gotten rid of things that I really regret, and sweaters that I've knit, which took months, to knit. And then I was like, well, I never wear this anymore. I'll just donate this. And I wish I hadn't done that for some of the things that I made.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you can acquire quite a bit of stuff through making. So it's a really tough challenge. But I just did a closet clean out. I mentioned this in a previous episode. And I did take some things and put them away in a basket and just kind of archive them, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them long term, but there are certain things that I really like and want to keep, but don't necessarily wear, so they don't need to be taking up space in my closet. And then another thing that I've been trying to do is think about if there are reasons I don't wear it where I can alter the garment and get more wear out of it. So like the Grace dress that I made, which is in that beautiful blue, like puckered rayon fabric. It's just the color is this gorgeous sky blue. I love it. But I made some alterations to the fit, and I'm not crazy about the way it fits my arms, like the armholes. And that was because that's a long story. The fabric, because it's cut on the bias and it's stretched out after I cut the pieces, after I hung them, and blah, 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 blah. I had to make some adjustments. Anyway, I kind of want to change it into a skirt, and then maybe I would actually get some wear out of it. So that's another thing I'm trying to do, is just repurpose the things that I've made.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, more sewing stuff. I know that you're planning a trip to the South pretty soon. If you were to make an outfit to wear on the plane today, what would you sew?
Oh, this is such a great question. because I haven't been traveling that much, so I'm excited to get on a plane and go somewhere. I haven't been anywhere since last fall. I think if I were making an outfit just for the plane, I'm really into knit pants right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would probably do some knit pants, like secret pajama knit pants that don't necessarily, not like sweatpants or anything like that, but that look more like regular pants.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe just a matching cozy sweatshirt.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think just like a little matching outfit that feels good. I also like to wear a big scarf on planes just to keep me warm because who knows what the temperature is going to do.
Something
So,
weird. That's for sure.
So maybe making like a big giant kind of shawl scarf to go with it would be fun. What would you do for a trip?
I would definitely choose either like a knit pant or a elastic woven pant. I think a Palmer would be great.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I like the bonus with the little kick flare. I could totally see that. And then I'm nursing still, so I'm always thinking about how I can like whip it out without like whipping it all out.
Yeah.
So it always has to be some kind of like tank top and then like a cardigan or a button up. Probably a button up because button ups are the most multi-purpose garment of all time. And I know that I'm going to probably pack 1 or 2 button ups on the trip, so I might as well wear one.
Yeah.
And it's great for like shielding against the AC on the plane. It's good temperature kind of control.
Yeah.
So that would be my pick. And I'm actually like halfway through making some of these components for an upcoming trip. So I have been preparing for this.
I agree. A button up is the best thing to bring when you travel because you can wear it as a jacket kind of layer. You can put it over a dress. And I often put one over a dress and knot it at the waist. And there's just so many different ways to wear it.
Wear
when
it
you're
to
traveling.
the pool over your swimsuit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is the workhorse for my travel wardrobe. All right. Well, what are you sewing now? What are you excited to sew next? And what are you sewing right now?
I am still working on the pants I was talking about last month when we talked about our sewing plans, but I did just get the Henrietta skirt from Spaghetti Western Patterns. It's a pull-on skirt that has this kind of like cool gathered side panel, and it goes really well with the tops that I'm planning for my like summer wardrobe. So I'm going to be making that next. But I also kind of want to make a swimsuit. So it depends which impulse strikes me. But those are the 2 contenders for my next project. What about you?
Well, I just finished my Chelsea jeans that I've been working on for like the last month. And they came out so cute. I absolutely love them. It took me a while because I realized first I didn't have rivets. So I had to buy some rivets. And then I got the rivets and I realized I didn't have a rivet tool. So I had to go get a rivet tool. So it took me a while to finish them, but they are looking really good. They're in dark denim. I did a modification to them, which you can see on our YouTube channel. I did a video all about this modification, but to give them a little bit more of a straight leg flare instead of like the traditional flare. And I love these. It took me a long time, but I want to make them again for sure this year. Maybe I have a couple of corduroys that I want to use for the fall. So that's my last project. And then my next project I haven't decided on yet, but I have a few queued up. I do like to alternate my projects with something more challenging and then something a little bit easier. So the 2 easier projects that I'm thinking about doing are the Everly skirt, which is our bias cut mini skirt that we have. So that's one. And then the other one that I'm thinking about doing is the Farrah wrap sweater, which I already have fabric for, which is a ivory sweater knit.
Cute.
Yeah. So I'm excited about both of those. Maybe the Farrah because it's sweater weather right now and I could wear it more.
Yeah, get a little bit of wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. I think Everly is so underrated though, so I'm excited to see your version of it.
I know. I love a little bias cut skirt. I just think child of the 90s, I guess. It's just adorable, I think. The little t-shirt.
And a mini skirt.
A mini skirt.
I'm a big fan of a mini skirt.
I love mini skirts. I know. I'm real into the mini skirt right now.
All right. So our next topic is, what is something new that you're trying lately?
Okay, so this is something that I've been thinking about a lot, which is reducing my screen time. And that's something that I'm trying lately, but I've already kind of reduced it, but I'm trying to reduce it even more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking specifically about my phone and my tablet. I actually use the tablet a lot more than I use my phone. I read books from the library on my tablet, so that means it's in front of my face a lot. But I find that that leads me to looking at other things. Like I'll look something up and then another idea will come to me. And then all of a sudden I'm on eBay or whatever.
How did I get here?
So I've just been like really thinking about this a lot. And I kind of think that it's really divorcing me from the real world and my body in a way that I don't like and from being present every day. Not just, zoning out because I actually don't use social media that much. I don't use Instagram and I do use like Pinterest and I do feel like that can also be kind of a time suck. But it's not even about that, the scrolling and all of that, but even just having access to so much information like all the time. Like I'll think of something, I'm like, oh, I'll look that up. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up. And then before you know it, you're spending all your time on your phone and not looking around you. So I'm just trying to resist that impulse more and channel it into other things. So one way I'm doing this is just trying out some different boundaries I can put around it. So I'm trying not to use my devices in the bedroom. Like that should be my sleeping place.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that that will help a little bit and like having maybe specific times where I indulge in my scrolling, Pinterest, whatever it is, and then maybe not doing it at other times. So I'm playing around with that and trying to figure out what the right boundaries are for me. But I think it is important to have whatever works for you, whatever your particular boundaries are. I think it's helpful to have something in your mind because it's so addictive. Like it can just take over your life. Even if you're not a social media person, it can still be really addictive.
Yeah.
Like you'll find the things that are addictive for you.
Yeah, I have like some boundaries around like family time and like I don't like to spend too much time on my phone when I'm around my kids, and that has created like some kind of like natural boundaries for me that have been helpful. But it's always like I feel like it's kind of like a moving target that you have to reassess from time to time because it sneaks in.
It does. I know. And then when you do things that you feel like, oh, well, it's good to read library books. Like I don't feel bad about reading library books, but then if it leads you to spending too much time on your screens, maybe in other ways, then it can be destructive. So it's hard to suss out, but I think it's a good thing to think about.
This is why I'm Team Kindle.
I just bought a Kindle.
I love it.
I just bought a Kindle, yeah.
I'm on my third one now. I've been a Kindle user for, I think, for like 15 years. I don't just buy a new one every year, I swear. But with my most recent one, I was like, should I get a tablet? And I decided not to because my Kindle is for reading specifically. And I didn't want another like device for other things. And I'm a fan.
Yeah. I can't wait. I just ordered one because of this. And even though it is a screen, obviously it's a different kind of screen, to be disconnected from the internet when I'm reading will be really helpful, I think.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
What about you? What's something new that you're trying lately?
I am working on, this isn't really new, but it's like a new page, which is, I talk about this all the time or both of us do, that we have a core style board on Pinterest, and I'm refreshing my core style board right now, which has been like really fun to see what has held true from the last time I worked on it, which was 3 years ago. And it's always like a work in progress, but every few years I tend to kind of like throw it all out and start over. And it's just been like really fun. And especially as we're recording it's early spring and kind of capitalizing on that new like fresh spring energy. It's just been like a really fun creative practice as I work on my spring sewing and my summer sewing plans that are starting to emerge.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that too, just refreshing mine. I used to try and do it every year, but now my core style board says Core Style 2023, I think. So I haven't done it in a little while. Maybe it's time to start a new one. It just hasn't changed all that much, so I just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
All right, what's one thing that you want to recommend to people? It could be like a book or a podcast or an article. It's just something that you find helpful that you love?
Yeah, I'm going to recommend a book, and it's actually a book that I read this summer, but it's like come back into my orbit. It's The House of Hidden Meanings by RuPaul. It's his memoir. It came out, I believe it was this summer. I listened to it on audiobook right after I had Frankie, and it's narrated by him. And she had this like thing where she like would not nap the first half of the day unless she was in a stroller or on my body.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed like dopamine. So I would leave the house, get coffee, and walk around like a neighborhood and listen to the sweet sound of RuPaul in my headphones. And it was like such a delight. And last week I went and saw, he's on a book tour right now. The paperback just got released and he's on the book tour. And I got last minute tickets and I went and saw RuPaul, and it was amazing.
Where was it?
I'm at the Aladdin Theater in
how
Southeast.
fun.
Yeah, it was good.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. And I was like, oh man, I love that book. I haven't like talked about how much I love that book. It's just like a really good book about like discovering your chosen family and just finding your place in the world. And I think that like most of us who sew or creative people who maybe don't fit quite inside of the box, and hearing just like from like a aspirational person like that is really meaningful. And I also just like love people who were just so themselves.
Yeah.
And everybody who knows me knows that I like adore RuPaul. So go read it. It's a joyful read. There's sad moments, but it's real life and it's beautiful. I loved it.
It's a memoir.
Mm-hmm. So good reading or good listening too, if you're a listener.
Yeah, I like memoirs when I listen to audiobooks. I think they're the best.
And he has great delivery. So.
Yeah, of course. Of course. All right. Well, the thing that I want to recommend, so one of my other passions in life is cooking and baking. I love food and I love to make good food. And I especially love to make good food for other people. So the book I want to recommend is one of my classics for cooking and baking that I think will appeal to many people, no matter what your kind of skill level with it is, which is the Chez Panisse Desserts book. It is like one of my all-time favorite cookbooks. And I think now that we're kind of heading into the warmer season of spring and summer where there's more fruit available, it's a really good choice because there are so many great recipes with fruit in it. So what I love about the Chez Panisse cookbook is the recipes are very simple. Like everything is really simple and just relies on good ingredients, but everything always comes out absolutely perfect. I just think it's just one of the best dessert cookbooks you could get. So if you like sweets like I do and you like to bake or you like to cook, I highly recommend it. It's just wonderful. So that's my recommendation. I can't wait for cherry season. I'm really excited about it.
And just like the produce in general, I'm like so excited.
Yeah, me too. I love it and growing a lot of good stuff this year. So I'm pretty excited about it. Last year for my birthday, we drove out to Hood River. We took Lucy, our dog, and drove out to Hood River and went cherry picking for my birthday. And it was such a great birthday treat. So I want to do that again this year.
Maybe stop for a little lavender too.
Yeah. We can't make too many stops because of Lucy, but
dang it, Lucy.
It was a little bit of a disaster. She was our dog Lucy is the sweetest girl, but she's pretty shy. And so she was doing okay on the farms, which she's used to being in the country. So she was doing okay. And then we stopped in Hood River, which is like the small city, this little town, which is right on the river. And she was not happy. And then we walked by the water where there was a lot of people and there was a windsurfer. And she saw the windsurfer and she was like, oh, heck no. And she like got down on the ground and was like panicking about this windsurfer. So we had to leave after that.
So unnatural.
They were moving in a very unnatural way, which is really upsetting to a dog. So, all right. Well, before we go, I want to talk a little bit about what to expect at Seamwork this month because we've got some really cool stuff coming up. So we have the Yarrow skirt and the Rosa dress that came out in May, which you guys should definitely check out. I'm really, really excited about these patterns. I just think they're so beautiful. And we also have 2 gorgeous new patterns coming out soon in June, so stay tuned for those. You can check our website to see what's new. Just go to seamwork.com and click on sewing patterns to see them. And I also want to mention that we have some really cool videos coming up on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, definitely head over there and click that subscribe button. This week, I'm sharing everything I sewed for spring on the channel. So I'm really, really excited about that. I sewed some really cool stuff that you'll be able to see right there on the channel. And I'm really excited. You'll see those jeans that I mentioned earlier today or early in the episode. We also just wrapped up Design Your Wardrobe, our latest session of that. So I'll be sharing the summer plan I came up with on the channel as well. So if you want to see what I'm planning for summer, again, go to our YouTube channel and we've got a video about that coming out real soon too. We also have a skills workshop coming up all about invisible zippers. So if you want to learn with Erica how to do invisible zippers, or you just want to up your game when it comes to invisible zippers, you can join that. So go to seamwork.com. Members get free access to the workshops that we do each month. And our last skills workshop, which was about hemming knits, is also available. So it's available for members or it's available for purchase on our website if you're interested in that and learning more about the best ways to hem knits and kind of up your game there as well. So that's it for us this week, I think. If you like this episode, you can leave us a review. You can also follow us on YouTube at Seamwork Video. You can follow us on Instagram at Seamwork. And if you'd like to become part of the Seamwork community, head over to seamwork.com to learn how to join. And that's it for us this week. I'm Sari.
And I'm Haley.
And this is Seamwork Radio. Seamwork Radio is brought to you by the team at Seamwork. Seamwork's an online community that supports you in creating a wardrobe that feels right for you. When you join us at Seamwork, you become part of our private community of makers, and you also get access to monthly sew-along classes, a library of over 200 sewing patterns, and tons of great resources to help guide you through the sewing adventure that you choose. Podcast listeners can get half off a Seamwork Unlimited membership, which means you can download as many of those 200 plus patterns as you want at any time, and our community will be there to guide and support you. If you'd like to join us for half off, just visit seamwork.com/go/podcast50. You can also find us on Instagram at Seamwork or visit our YouTube channel, which is called Seamwork Video. We love hearing from you, so let us know if there's a topic or a personal story that you'd like us to cover. Thanks for listening to Seamwork Radio.